So, when I was 15, I changed schools, and it wasn't my decision. Our whole family moved in order for my dad to receive a promotion for his job. Looking back, I'm glad we did. Dad got more flexible hours. We could live more comfortably due to his raise. And eventually, I made some pretty great friends at this new school. But when we first moved, I was really upset. I remember ignoring my dad for weeks, and even mom sometimes. I felt like I was a pawn in their life decisions. On my first days at this new high school, I made some friends. Jacob and Gracie. Jacob was a tall guy, skinny, long dark hair, always wore jeans and plaid. Gracie was shorter, a little rounder. She liked wearing shorts, t-shirts, summer clothing. Gracie just said she was always warm and just didn't need a lot of clothes. Anyways, they were basically the stoners of my 10th grade class. But they were nice. I was the new kid and they wanted me to be their friend. I still appreciate that. Jacob asked me if I'd ever smoked pot before. I told him I'd done it a lot. I lied. In fact, I hadn't even gotten drunk yet, let alone high. But I needed friends, so as far as they knew, I was basically Snoop Dogg and Willie Nelson's love child. Me, Jacob, and Gracie decided we were going to get high after school. Or rather, they decided, and I was a leech that went wherever they went. And so I leeched. Just as planned, school ended and we got into Gracie's Pontiac Grand Prix, which was terrible on a hot day because the AC was broken, a side mirror was bent, and the speakers were blown. But according to Gracie, the backseat was big enough for her and her boyfriend that she met at summer camp to make out. I never met this boyfriend. Maybe Gracie was also a liar. Jacob said he needed to pick up more green before we started, so we drove to his dealer's house not far away. Jacob disappeared into the house, and we waited in the car. After several minutes, Jacob came out from the house and waved us over, indicating for us to come inside. And so we did. Walking into that house was a high in its own right. It's like a cloud of smoke hugged your face. I wasn't a fan. And then a really surprising figure approached us. Our biology teacher, better known as Mr. Sinclair. Mr. Sinclair always wore a suit to school and smelled like cologne. He was a very professional-looking man. Gelled back, dark hair, always put together. But here he stood in striped pajamas and a Dirty Heads t-shirt. His eyes were super bloodshot. His hair looked like it survived a tornado. He led us to the living room where he had cookies, chips, bongs, joints, and a TV playing The Twilight Zone. He said we could help ourselves and then grabbed a ukulele and played a song about a roller coaster that crashed into the sea, causing its riders to live with the fish. Okay, Mr. Sinclair. My friends began smoking his weed. I ate a cookie. I didn't want to get high, partly due to nerves, but also this was just too weird. So I told them I wasn't feeling good, and getting high would make it worse. I figured I could take the bus home. But Mr. Sinclair laughed and let me know that the cookie I had just eaten wasn't a regular cookie. Not at all. It was laced with THC. But I really wasn't feeling anything, so I left. I took the bus home. The ride felt normal. I went straight to my room. A couple hours passed and I still felt nothing. Till supper time came, that is. I joined my parents at the dinner table. Mom made mashed potatoes and a casserole. Dad told us funny stories from work. And I laughed. I laughed a lot. I was laughing so hard at Dad's jokes that I started crying. He must have thought he was Jerry Seinfeld. And I told Mom this food was amazing, that I'd never tasted food that good, and that my tongue was in heaven. My parents laughed with me about it. They also apologized to me for moving, or rather for not discussing it more with me ahead of time. I forgave them, and then we went back to laughing at Dad's awful jokes. And that is the story of how a high school biology teacher's marijuana mended the relationship between me and my parents. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and comment below. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.
Hi, I'm Frances, and I just turned 15 years old. But as you can see from the title, I'm not your regular 15-year-old high school freshman because I'm 2 months pregnant. I'm scared and I'm drowning among my doubts. I have so many doubts. The father, Billy, is an older guy. He's a junior, and I was attracted to him from day one. I guess he was attracted to me too. I look older than my age, so older guys tend to flirt with me. He would talk to me in the cafeteria when we were in line to buy lunch. He made a couple of jokes about the menu and he made me laugh. We kept interacting with one another when we would see each other in the hallways, and that lasted for a couple of months until he followed me on Instagram. I followed him back and replied to one of his stories when he was at the gym. I was really smooth about it. I sent him a fist bump emoji. Anyways, he replied by asking me out on a date with him. Of course, I did my research about him and found out nothing but good things. Billy was not popular, but he had a lot of friends. He was gentle, he had good grades, and he loved music. He was a really good drummer. So there were no apparent red flags. I'll go out with you, I said to him, but only if you take me for ice cream first. So he did. We went for ice cream and then we went on a bike ride, to burn the calories. We made out that day, and it was really nice. We both felt a connection and decided to keep dating. He was really sweet. I liked his older friends, and he was never rude or condescending with me. I knew Billy had sexual experiences before, and he knew I was a virgin, but he was never pushy about the subject. Eventually, we did become sexually active. He was my first, and I was consenting about it. He always was really sweet to me and made me feel comfortable. We used protection, of course, though I decided to not take the pill. I guess that was a bad move, because apparently about 99% of the time condoms work. I'm the 1%. I started feeling really sick out of the blue. I was tired all the time, I had headaches, and I was constipated. My mood was a roller coaster, and my boobs started to feel weird. I asked my mom to take me to the doctor, and she agreed. I prayed that my mom didn't come in the doctor's room with me. She didn't, and that was a good thing, because the first thing the doctor asked me was if I was sexually active. I told her no. I was too young, and I didn't want my mom to find out. I would be so embarrassed. Of course, she did find out. The doctor ran a couple of tests and told me that I was pregnant. I started crying and freaked out, but eventually the doctor calmed me down enough to bring my mom back in the room. And when she told her again, I started crying once more. My mom couldn't believe what she heard. She started crying. She told my dad over the phone, and he freaked out like I have never seen before when we got home. My dad was throwing things and screaming. He said that he wanted to go to my boyfriend's house and literally kick his ass. My mom managed to calm him down, but he kept insisting that I have an abortion. I told Billy about it, and it took him about a week to tell his family. He also thinks I should get an abortion, but he insists that it's my decision. I'm not sure what to do. I have no idea what the future holds, and I was planning on keeping it secret. I've never felt so alone before. In so many ways, I'm still a kid. I hate vegetables. I love riding my bike. I can't help but wonder how I'm supposed to raise a kid. I considered adoption for about 2 days. I know I can't offer the kid the same opportunities as a mother and father who have a steady job, an education, and a house of their own. I know that. But I'm just overwhelmed by the whole adoption process. Somehow the rumor spread. And by somehow, I mean Billy definitely told someone that he shouldn't have. I started getting these really ugly, intense, judging looks, and I was practically forced to tell people the truth. So I did. For right now, I'm deciding to keep it. Raising a child kind of sounds fun. Being able to dress him or her in cute clothes, watching the baby grow and showing it off to my friends and family, having somebody who will love me unconditionally. I know that's not the whole picture, but I also know there's going to be sacrifice. I just want to give the baby the attention it deserves. My parents are so upset about my decision. I know they still love me, and I know they're going to love the baby, and I don't expect them to drop everything to help me take care of it. They support me for now. Everyone else says so too. The school even is going to let me attend until a couple weeks before the due date. And as for Billy, well, it's awkward. I'm not going to lie. We are trying to stay a couple, and we're not planning to get married because we think that getting married so young is a really bad idea. We don't want to resent each other or the child. I don't know what's going to happen next in my life. I want to eventually graduate and go to college. I want to have a cool job. I want to meet someone, fall in love, and get married if Billy's not the one for me. But those things are going to have to wait for now. For now, I'm going to focus on loving my baby. I hope that's the best thing to do.
Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and comment below. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.